Hello, Happy New Year.
Hi. We're here at Be Wild Woman, and I'm Kiana Love, founder of Be Wild Woman, and I'm so excited to have Zahava here visiting.
Yay! I'm visiting New York.
Yeah, she
This
left,
is
she left
Zahava.
New York, went off to the West Coast.
Yeah, went off to start a family with my love in the West Coast, but I'm the founder of Embody More Love, and we were just reflecting on meeting back in 2007. It's now 2016. And
Gosh, that's almost 10 years then.
yeah, 9 years ago, we met at a women's sexuality workshop, and we
Sherry
gravitated
Winston's.
towards each other. Yeah,
Mhm.
Sherry Winston, and we're like, so who are you and what do you do? And we started to learn from each other, and so we wanted to take a moment to share a little bit with you what has unfolded in our journey and our friendship together,
Mhm.
and where that's now deepening for us. Yeah. So I lay on Kiana's table, and she put her hands on me, and we started this really sacred process that allowed me to feel the sensations happening in my body. And I started dancing when I was 2 and had a really intense professional career, and so I knew how to run my body, I knew how to direct it, but that was really different than knowing how to feel it and how to listen to its wisdom. In fact, that concept was something that I didn't really understand, that distinction, until I was working with you.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, that was really exciting to see you discover that, knowing that, you're coming from your teaching already at yoga, already at the Chopra Center, doing all the ballet, but to see you and hold that space for you to go through that process of deepening into being in your body was wonderful to hold that space, but also I learned a lot from that, to learn about how much, just because we're doing something around the body or doing yoga doesn't mean we're necessarily in our body, and how important it is for women and for people to be able to come home to their bodies, to really be on the inside.
yeah,
When you wrote your testimonial about it, saying that what you got to experience differently, and I think more importantly than that is you get to share with people how much got to shift for you afterwards, and I got to see all of the gifts you were sharing grow and getting to support other people and being in their body, and that was really
thank you.
incredible.
Yeah, it's been like, I love hearing you share that, because I think so much we learn as clients and also healers, like it and also in our friendship, like to be with each other at these different stages in our growth. And something really important to me in my life right now is transparency around our support systems. That we don't suddenly just have all these amazing offerings on our own. It's that we've grown in community and with relationships like this.
Yeah, and for a relationship to grow, because at the beginning I was more where I was sharing things with you, but then to get to witness and watch you grow and shift that, and then also to look at dance things I wanted to learn from you, or right at the beginning when I was starting my work with the Anadea stuff and getting my certification, and I was like, okay, I need help make sure I got these yoga poses right, and I had some yoga training. It was so helpful for you to go through it and help me to be able to guide that and be able to look through the postures and look through, does this make sense? So right at the beginning there was that, what I got to learn from you and what I got to hold space for you, and then seeing you take off with dance and being able to take things at dance where it was still also to see you move to where you wanted to do something challenging and around dance, but then also bring it in the body. And now you've taken off between, all these activism stuff you've been doing, from activism around race to around gender, but always coming back to what you're going to be teaching on Wednesday, which I'm hoping to go to.
Yay!
The pelvic basin.
Yeah, the pelvic basin as a power. It's called pelvis, the basin of power and receptivity, which for me is kind of code for masculine and feminine energies, right? Even though I'm not using that language, but the fluidity of all the energy that we can embody, and the pelvis as the root system back to the earth, and the body as home, right?
Yes.
Like your work is so much about being at home in the body. And I think for many of us, especially in my community of New York trained dancers, we learned how to master the body but not be at home in it. And so a lot of what the kind of the trajectory that I was launched on once we were working together was how much where I put my attention and my intention and my breath could start to shift the energy and how I was feeling and the mindset states that are connected to that through the body. So right now I work a lot with people recovering from sexual trauma, but I also work a lot with socially conscious entrepreneurs and how we can use movement and breath to shift from trauma to vision. And so I combine it with business skills. So a lot of the mindset of what's possible in the world actually is deeply impacted by how much we feel at home and safe and in pleasure being right here. Yeah.
So I'm excited to come because it's so much in alignment, and it's such a, I find that this work, the more you do it, the more you recognize that there is a deeper journey into the body. You recognize that I am here, but this is somewhere that I'm going to keep deepening into. So I'm excited to discover more, because a lot of the same kind of work that I'm doing is more of is a woman's experience of coming home to the feminine, coming home to the body. But I also do it as service to everyone, to whether you identify as a woman, as a man, being in the sense of the womb, pelvis. Us to be rooted in the earth is essential. So a lot of the work I've been doing now has been shifting to this meditational space of that, to being able to let go of who we have to be, where we have to get to, what things we're supposed to do, but to be able to actually be here to live this life, instead of where am I going to be tomorrow, where do I have to get to in my next year, but this blessing of being right here. And it's just started to deepen more and more into this meditational being space. There's a lot of art that's been coming through the healing work I've been doing with Wild Woman. So I've been sharing these healing art messages on Instagram every day and starting to do personal transmissions for people that will help them to have that place to be, and so that we're not looking out there for information everywhere, but trust that there is a sacred space inside that we can listen into that can guide us. We don't have to look on the news and ask somebody else, but we can listen and hear. So it's been really exciting to deepen that. So anywhere I can deepen more being in here, this is the space. And I've been doing a lot more work also around trauma. And what I find at the business stuff, it's not something I lead with. I don't have business programs out there for people, but a lot of times what happens is once people are at home in their bodies, once they feel comfortable with themselves, then what starts to free is whatever they're doing, whatever they want to express, whatever they want to be. And I find the same tools apply, the same tools that help you to feel safe, that helps you to be at home, help you to listen, are the same tools that are going to help you in your business.
Well, this program I'm doing now started as supporting women's sexual and spiritual lives, and what I discovered was that about a few weeks into it, as they felt support and resourced in those areas, the question then opened up, how do I want to be a greater contributor? How do I access my gifts more? And that is basically business. That is, how do I share the value and create meaningful exchanges with people who are ready? So it was kind of that natural trajectory. It's
been really interesting, wonderful to see you go through that pathway. Like, who would you have thought that, when you're doing the yoga, that later on you're going to be taking that for people for business? It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, I think of business as like the advanced spiritual practice of cultivating who we're meant to be, and allowing people to partner with us in our gifts, in our highest gifts. Yeah. So we yeah, we wanted to share some of this reflection and the power of our own growing together and friendships. And for me, this is not only about celebrating us, but also celebrating the role of friends and mentors in our lives, because we really can't tap in deeply to the intimacy of our body and our presence without relationship.
Yeah. Well, relationship is where we get to play with the intimacy. So it's like you have to be willing to go deep inside here to have your own intimate relationship. But then that gives you the tools. You have to come out here and play with them with other people.
We're really good at playing.
We've just,
yeah. So perhaps we'll see you Wednesday, or if you want to know more about what we're up to, how can people find out about you?
I can go to bewildwoman.com, or you can find me on Instagram at kianalovesart.com.
Nice.
Well, Kiana Loves Art, at Kiana Loves Art.
Kiana Loves Art.
And yeah, I just encourage you to follow, to be at home and listen to what is calling there, because whatever's calling there, the world would love to hear it and would benefit from what you have to offer.
Beautiful. Yeah, and you can learn more about my work at embodymorelove.com. And I'm teaching in New York City this Wednesday night at 6:30, and then I'll be headed back to my base, which is in the Bay Area. So I look forward to connecting with you all. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!